Kawhi Leonard retire, please, sir.
Man, this nigga.
Y'all all superstar. He a superstar. He's a superstar.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Man, I can't take that from him. Shit, he did. Got too much of a resume not to be that.
No, he don't. Only thing you can point to is about a good 2 or 3 year run. Again. After that,
as the best player on the
that
championship team.
It's funny how your whole career matters in some instances, and then your whole career don't matter in others.
Your whole career.
But Jalen Brunson, a superstar. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he's a superstar.
And Kawhi not. Get the fuck out of here. What kind of fucked up logic is that?
How is Kawhi a superstar now? Tell me what he's doing.
Jalen Brunson has had about a 3-year run. What the fuck are you talking about?
This is going on his 4th year.
And he has no title. None.
We're talking about Kawhi right now. That's what I'm saying. Is Kawhi right now a superstar?
When he on the court, yeah.
Man, stop it, man.
He's not?
No, he's not.
Oh, my God.
No, he's not.
Is LeBron one?
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's go.
Yeah, man, let's get the damn show started. Did I hit record already? Hold on. I believe I hit it already. Let me make sure.
You comparing a 23-year career of consistency.
Oh, you see that? Now your whole
now it's about the career. Right.
Now your whole career.
You just changed your whole damn argument.
Only 3 of Kawhi years matter, but all 23.
Because what else did he do the rest of them years? What else did he do? Is he in the top 5 scoring, top 10 scoring, top 15 scoring, top 20 scoring, top 25 scoring, top 30 scoring?
Stop, man.
Has he had 5 defensive DPOYs?
All I'm saying is you just changed your whole argument midstream.
Did you just hear what he said?
Changed the whole argument midstream just then.
No, I didn't.
Did you just hear what he said?
LeBron.
He asked that Kawhi have 5 defensive player of the years. Why 5? Why not 10?
Because
why not 20?
Okay, this is why. Because the rest of his career is limited to them 3 years. He hasn't been a top scorer all time. He hadn't been the player. He hadn't been the MVP. Man. Has he? What MVP has he gotten? Regular season MVP. Give me one. Oh, you can't. Oh, you can't. He got the defensive player of the year, and he got Finals MVP on a team where he wasn't the best player on that team. Tim Duncan was, and he got that 1 year that he was the
man. We let's go, man. I got to go to work.
All this shit y'all talking about,
welcome.
Man.
Superstar Trash Talking with the old heads. As you can see, we getting into it already about
no damn superstar.
About a subject that's not even on the rundown. But thank y'all for joining us again. Trash Talking with the old heads. Hey, before we get started, do not forget to hit that smash that like and subscribe button. YouTube, Trash Talking with the Old Heads. Also, you can join the movement on Facebook, Trash Talking with the Old Heads. What's happening, Greg? See what it do, bro. All the way from Dallas, Texas. What's happening, boy?
Supposed to do the introduction first.
No, we doing it out of order today. What's happening?
Yeah, you all out of order. You all out of order. No excuses. Play like a champion. Play like a motherfucking champion. I'm going to tell you something that I didn't hear. Well, I'm going to let y'all go ahead and say y'all little speech.
JW, what's happening, bro?
What you got, JW?
What it is. Well, instead of playing like a champion, you can be a champion like the Indiana Hoosiers. Speaking of Indiana Hoosiers, shout out to Detroit Pistons legend Isaiah Thomas for keeping Michael Jordan's legacy alive consistently. Appreciate you.
He keep his name in his mouth all the time.
What did he say? What did he do this time?
We'll get into that on another day, man, because we'll get all off track talking about Mike and Isaiah, and we ain't got time for all that today. You said you had something else, bro. You said you had something else.
I'm just trying to hear you see it, bang, bang. What is it? Where is that at? But we got time to get into that. We'll
No,
get into that, but I
that's
ain't hear
later,
no you
man. We
see
got to
it.
start. We got to
I ain't
start.
hear no you see it.
And
Dang, dang,
before we even get to the college football,
gang bang.
we all know what yesterday was, MLK Day, man. So before we get loud, before we argue, before we talk championships, choke jobs, before we acknowledge, any of that, we got to talk about what yesterday represented. And with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, he wasn't just about dreams for me. It was about more about standards. You know what I'm saying? About excellence, about preparation, meeting opportunity, and doing the work when nobody's watching and standing tall when everybody was. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's one of those days, man, where you have to reflect on what others have sacrificed for us to be where we are. You know what I'm saying? So, and for me, it kind of fits in perfectly with tonight's show because what we saw this weekend in college football and the NFL was the difference between teams that were ready for the moment and teams that weren't. And we all know Dr. MLK Jr. was always ready for the moment. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Any words, thoughts from you, gentlemen?
Go ahead, Jerry.
I was surprised. Man, I meant to write it down and keep dude's name in my head, but I can't remember his name. But anyway, so I watched the gentleman talk about the "I Have a Dream" speech, and I never knew that once he got to the "I Have a Dream" part of that speech, that was freestyle. That the rest of that speech from that point on was freestyle off the top of the dome. I never knew that. I'm 50 years old. That's the first time I ever got that information downloaded. So, an outstanding legacy, gone way too soon.
Facts.
Murdered by the powers that be because his presence and his voice for us, his voice for the voiceless, um, his speech of unity and change is what ultimately had him murdered and taken from us and taken from this world. And I'll just leave it with how much greater would the US be? How much greater would the world be if we could all live by some of the ideologies that Dr. King professed? So,
Facts. G?
Yeah, well said, gentlemen. I mean, the great Dr. Martin Luther King was everything that this country said it wanted to be. From free speech to freedom and justice for all, to even the economic uh, messages that he uh, went into in the latter part of his life, in the latter part of his journey. That is the embodiment of the true American spirit. And I was watching a documentary today about his death on that, day, that infamous day, that sad day on April the 4th, 1968. That said that I can't remember the guy. It was either Jesse Jackson or Stokely Carmichael. One of the gentlemen said that the white people lost their greatest friend because of the anger that started to, what I'm saying, um, resonate within the black community. People were tired of getting their head beat in. And and we speak Dr. Martin Luther King's name for a reason. And a lot of people, say that, oh, I wish I had to live during those times. I wanted to live, I wanted to, go the Malcolm X route. But we had to have a Martin Luther King moment in order for us to be able to fight more vociferously for our rights and be able to be more aggressive in our tactics, because at the end of the day, we're still outnumbered, white to black, right? So had we gone in guns a blazing without the nonviolent movement, you know what I'm saying, making white people see themselves in the mirror and see for years
Made the world watch.
how crazy and hateful that they were and how anti-constitutional they allowed themselves to be. We would have gotten into a situation to where it would have been, you know what I'm saying, big bank take little bank. In this instance, you know what I'm saying, who got the bigger guns? And it was them. So, I hear the Malcolm X, the people that believe Malcolm X was on the path of, by any means necessary. And he said those things. And we had a lot of the, Black unity, Black power movements coming in after the civil rights movement and all of that good stuff, the nonviolent approach. But it wouldn't have gone the way that people think. We would have lost a lot of people and we would have lost the high ground to enact the Voting Right Act and the Civil Rights Act that was signed into law when right after a week or so after Dr. King got killed.
And even
Last
by the
thing,
end, yeah, and even by the end, Malcolm's message once he went to Mecca had changed when he came back.
exactly.
He was completely different. I ain't gonna say completely different, but his message about white people had changed at that point. He saw a different side. So even his message
Exactly.
changed.
Last point, and this is gonna be real quick. For all of the Charlie Kirk is the modern day Martin Luther King, kick rocks, really kick rocks. That there's no uh, commonality in between the two whatsoever, and we can count the ways. We can spend an hour
Agreed.
dissecting the two. So please don't do the disservice and put them two in the same sentence.
And we're gonna move on to sports, but I want to say one more thing because it irritated me today and yesterday, some of the stuff. Kick rocks also those who attempt to assassinate his character because he was a man with flaws. We all are. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to say about his flaws and those recordings that J. Edgar Hoover recorded of him, the infidelity or whatnot, and trying to strip everything he was because of that, kiss my ass. And I mean that sincerely. And I didn't want to come on here and talk like that about it.
No, we need to.
But
We need to
you
say
can
that.
really kiss my ass with that because I was in a lot of chats and chat rooms where Black people, young Black people, were saying those things, and it frustrated me immensely to try to assassinate his character, and us doing it really pissed me off. You know what I'm saying? It really did. Us being the ones to do it because you're reading these things about his personal life and some of the things that may or may not have happened and taking that and trying to destroy everything he was about based on those flaws that he may have had as a man. Kick rocks and kiss my ass with that part. You know what I'm
You
saying?
talk about your whole stinking ass, Dante. Just got off the toilet.
Yeah.
Didn't even wipe good.
Yeah,
No,
just
no
miss me with
flushable
all,
wipes or nothing.
miss me with all that. You know what I'm saying? So,
For sure.
but let's move on, man. Let's get into these sports, man. Championship, Indiana Hoosiers, like Jerry alluded to, who Hoosiers take it over Miami. You know what I'm saying? Win the national championship. Uh, I guess my question about it all, Jerry. I guess I'll start with you because I know where you're going with it. Is this team, Indiana team, 16-0, officially one of the greatest football teams, college football teams of all time? In your mind, would you put them up there with some of the great teams of all time? Some of those Miami teams, some of those Bama teams, they in there for you. That LSU Joe Burrow team.
So to answer your question, are they top 5? No. Are they top 10? No. So
thank you.
if you're trying to put them in the hierarchies of some of those teams, no. What I will say is that their playoff run, or at least everything in the playoffs on, to me, was done in dominant fashion. No, I'm not going to put them with the likes of, one of my Florida Gator teams, some of the old school Florida State teams, Bama teams of recent or of old, when the U was popping. Maybe not even, Nebraska when they had that thing going. So no, I'm not doing that. And the only reason I'm not doing that, Dante, is because of their regular season schedule. That's the only reason. That's the only reason I'm not doing that. And I'm sure if I were to look back at some of the games that those teams that you're alluding to played, I'm sure they had some weak games on their schedule too, but it wouldn't be in the same vein of an Indiana's undefeated regular season type. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe so. And I hadn't looked at it, but I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I can remember some really, really big games from those times and those teams in the regular season. And we just finished Indiana season, and the biggest regular season game I'm thinking about was Oregon, and they had one other one. It was another team maybe. But see, Penn State doesn't measure.
And
but
Ohio State.
Ohio State, that's who it was. Ohio State. And Ohio State was a damn good squad this year. Damn good squad. So, but I will say this. I'm big on what I saw in the 5 games that I watched, including, you're talking 2 regular season games that I watched from them and the rest of the way in the playoffs. The discipline that they show, the fact that they never trail, the fact that they beat the absolute dog shit out of Alabama, and all the way up to the championship game. I picked Indiana to win the championship game because of a lot of those things. I saw them manhandle SEC teams. I saw them manhandle and beat Ohio State and Oregon, which we would consider Oregon a peer, definitely a peer as far as teams and where they had to come from to get to where they are. I would look at those 2 teams as peers. They handled everybody. In the championship game, they go up, 10-0 in the first half, holding Miami to, I think, 20 yards rushing in the first half. All of that was very impressive, which to me, because the running game was Miami's strength on offense. And for them to put 10 points on Miami's front line, that was impressive to me as well. I can't go the route of people that are, applauding Mendoza like they are, because his numbers weren't impressive, but his ability to take those damn hits, because he was getting his ass tore up, missing the blitz on a few plays, but he remained poised, and when he needed to, he had a Caleb Williams type game, and I'm not a fan of Caleb at all, but he had one of those games where he just remained poised, and in the end, he was able to come up with some plays. The coaching to me is outstanding because they play old school football. They're fundamentally sound. They are patient with their game plan. They run when they're supposed to run, and they executed great play calling, especially when they needed the first down at the end of the game, and they called the quarterback sneak. And the play that you'll remember ever from this game with the spin move and the dive across the goal line for the for the touchdown. That was a great play, definitely a great play. And I'll end with this. I feel like everybody, and I do mean everybody, that was, pulling for Miami, because that's what it was. People were pulling for Miami instead of Indiana. A lot of it was probably, Alabama hatred, not wanting to pull for Indiana because they beat the dog shit out of Alabama. So a lot of it was that, because it was mostly Alabama fans that I saw, they going with the U. This wasn't going to be a return of the U. Even if Miami had won it, it wasn't going to be that. But I just don't see how you can look at Indiana's road to where they got to, especially the games they played in the championship. And I don't see how you could look at that and think that Miami was going to win that game. I didn't see them winning that game in any way at all.
You impressed at all?
This was the
longest. You as impressed as Jerry?
This was the longest. It was all right that I've ever heard in my life. For a guy that got to bring Alabama up in a negative way every single time. Number one, was it me or didn't you hear that Jerry said Alabama was ass? But now it's impressive that they whooped Alabama's ass. Didn't bring up that they beat Oregon's ass, who was probably better than Alabama. Beat the dog shit out of Oregon. Scored damn near 60 points on Oregon. So that's crazy. So is that impressive or not? Is Alabama good or not? We all can say that Alabama made the playoffs, but this definitely went Alabama's best team in a while. This was probably one of their worst teams. But I mean, it's impressive because it's Indiana. That's where the buck stops. If we talk about the game, and if we look at the game realistically, they got 7 points on the punt block, and they got 7 points because Miami gifted them 7 points, not getting off the field on stupid third down plays.
Right.
So no, holding them to 20 yards, that was more so them trying to pass, more so trying to run. I mean, Carson Beck had. Yeah, they ran the ball 12 times in the first half with 2 running backs. So, I mean, holding them to 20 yards. What did they hold them to in the game? 131 yards. They had 130. First half, 10-0. That's not impressive. That's just half the fucking game. What are we talking about?
They had two long running plays that broke loose. That's why they got up. That's why they got all the rushing yards. So stop it. They had a 57-yard touchdown, and then they had another long run later in the game. And
they didn't. They didn't. They had Fletcher was 17 for 112 yards. So yeah, one of the runs was 50-some yards.
That's
but
what I just said.
16 of the yards was 50-some yards. So they did run the ball 21 for 110. But then they had to pass because, time. So it's fourth quarter, they down 10 points. They had to rely more on the pass than they did the run. So let's not overstate the point. It was impressive because it was Indiana. It was impressive because they won 16 games. They went 16-0. But I'm not impressed as far as them being definitely not one of the better teams to ever win the college football playoffs. This is probably one of the weakest teams to ever win the college football playoffs. They wouldn't beat last year's Ohio State team. They wouldn't beat Michigan.
Oh, come on, man. Now you're going too far.
They wouldn't beat Michigan's. They wouldn't beat Michigan's team. They wouldn't beat one of Georgia's teams. They wouldn't have beat the 20 Bama team. They wouldn't have beat the LSU team in 2019. They wouldn't have beat that Clemson team.
Now you just speaking.
Yeah, this is one of the worst. This is one of the worst championships.
Now you're just speaking out your ass because you don't have no way to say that.
Who would they have beaten?
How can we say that when you talk about teams from the past?
Because I know they wouldn't. I'm saying it because that's my belief.
You have no facts. No facts.
Well, you have no facts on it being impressive. What are we talking about?
No facts.
How is it more impressive that they beat Alabama, but you calling them ass?
Well, I gave you the things that I thought were impressive. The coaching was impressive. The fact that they weren't a heavily penalized team was impressive. The fact that they didn't lose.
We've seen that.
The fact that they led every game
are not penalized.
They didn't allow any
team.
They didn't allow any team in the playoffs to take the lead in the game. All of that is impressive.
Man,
He played 3 games.
Signetti's coaching performance.
No matter how many games.
Good job by Signetti. But this is not a great team. I mean, I'm so sick of people parroting that all day. Oh my God, the greatest this and the greatest that. The hyperbole is just way out of hand. Now, they got outgained in the game. They got outgained and had 13 more minutes of possession. They weren't dominant last night. They won the game. That was not a dominant performance. They're not one of the great teams in the history of college football. To answer
nope.
They're not. They're just not. They're the first team in NIL that's harnessed this whole thing and put it together based on what they got together. They got the money.
NIL and transfer portal.
Right. Transfer portal, NIL, Mark Cuban. good coach, put it all together. They put it together for a year. Great job. I don't take anything away from them on that. It's a great job. They're playing in the system that's here right now. Great job. But to say they're one of the great teams, nothing about this team says it's one of the great teams of all time.
I haven't heard anybody say they one of the greatest teams of all time. I hadn't heard anybody.
They were talking
today
it all day.
I
one
heard
of the great teams of all time and one of the greatest turnarounds of all time. Which
heard,
I can agree.
I heard
that part I agree with.
I heard people say it was one of the best turnarounds of all time. I
accept that.
I heard
playoffs last year.
I saw people saying the only ones better than them maybe that they could think of was the Miami teams and maybe LSU. What? Stop it. No.
I
just don't buy that. You know what I'm saying?
They wouldn't stand a chance against any Alabama championship team under Saban.
This nigga keep going there. They wouldn't beat these teams. How? Nobody is comparing them to. I haven't heard anybody today.
Why I gotta be a nigga on MLK Day? Why I gotta be a nigga? Why I gotta?
MLK was yesterday.
The day of MLK, I gotta be a nigga. That's what we doing.
I haven't heard anybody say or try to compare this team to championship teams of old. I hadn't heard that from anybody. I didn't watch a whole lot of shows today. I watched the show and listened to some shows. But I didn't hear anybody making those comparisons. I didn't hear anybody trying to say this was one of the greatest teams of all time. I didn't hear that. I did hear people say that it was one of the greatest turnarounds of all time, as well as it was impressive for the fact that Indiana, a team that has not even been in this position to play for a title since the 60s, I believe. I did hear that conversation, but I didn't hear anybody trying to compare them to an old Florida State team or would they beat an old Alabama team. I didn't hear any of it.
I go to Sporting News and you can read the whole article. They had a whole article on it.
I didn't see any of the shows today too. I had a long work day, but at any rate, you know what I'm saying? What I'm speaking on is this team, Indiana, was impressive because it was Indiana. That's where the buck stops.
Right. I agree. I kind of agree. That's the biggest, most impressive thing to me. The way he could galvanize a collection of people that he kind of threw together, and then they can win the championship. Impressive. I give him that. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't impressed with no Mendoza. All that Mendoza.
I wouldn't want Mendoza as my number one pick if I'm the Raiders. I'm I'm selling the pick to the highest bid.
Doc said that he was a destitute Josh Allen. He said he was a poor man's Josh Allen. Then took it back and said, "No, you're destitute."
Nah,
Josh Allen.
He's more of a Jared Goff. He's more of a Jared Goff.
I didn't look at his Heisman worthy season as him being the number one pick in the draft. Well, who got the number one pick? The Saints, Raiders. Probably.
Raiders.
The Raiders got the number one pick,
and they were picking, and they will pick him.
If
the owner and Tom Brady was at the game checking him out.
Yeah, I don't know if I saw number one pick in him as far as this season. I don't know if I saw that. But
his most impressive throws were back shoulder throws against that dude. I guess the freshman they had over there. Was he a freshman? The same guy.
But that's something they've done. But that's a weapon that they used all year.
Yeah,
that's a weapon they used all year.
I'm not talking about Indiana. I'm talking about Mendoza. That ain't gonna be no weapon in the NFL.
A back shoulder throw is not a weapon in the NFL.
Not all day when they know you're gonna do it.
I don't know.
I'm selling the pick. I'm doing exactly what Chicago did a couple years ago with the Panthers. Who want this pick? Who gonna give me 2 or 3 first round picks? I'm gonna build out my team. I'm not building around Mendoza.
Well, I think
the Raiders. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I think that Tom Brady being involved would be able to see some of the things that he would need to see in order to make him a number one pick. Like I said, I don't know if I saw number one NFL pick type of talent. I don't know if I saw that from him all year.
No, his arm is not that. He don't have a cannon, and he's not super athletic either. He's big. He got size though. He does have size. You know what I'm saying?
But let me say this to something Greg said earlier when he was going off about Alabama again and me saying that they beat the dog shit out of Alabama as opposed to Oregon. Oregon scored 20-something points in the game, if I'm not mistaken.
They also got 60 points put on.
Bama didn't get nothing but a field goal off them boys, so that's why I mentioned that. So the playoff
which
run
one
was impressive.
I'd rather a team to score 3 points than a team to score 60 fucking points on me.
That's loser talk, but go ahead.
It ain't loser talk. It is what it is. I mean, you still got your ass.
If I'm gonna lose, I'd rather lose by this many.
You still got your ass.
Who says that? Who said? If I'm gonna lose, I'd rather lose by this many.
I guess the only question that's left is you kind of alluded to it earlier, Greg. Is this like a dynasty in the making, or is this like 1 year? Are they 1 year wonders, or is this a real program? Or is this a real program now?
This is a program that is on the rise, but I don't see them competing like that. You know what I'm saying? I think they'll with Cignetti. Cignetti's proven himself to be a pretty good coach. And the philosophy and the way that they're going about getting talent, that's probably going to be, a recipe for success. Is it championship success? I don't see it. You have to have the right quarterback. You have to have, this roster, the way that it's set up, you have to have studs and you have to have people you can't miss. If you miss on any piece of that dynamic, then the success rate that you have, like they had this year, along with maybe an increase in them having to play Ohio State or them having to play Michigan, during the regular season, could lead to, and on top of not have any injuries. You can't count on that. Because you're gonna have to have depth, and I don't know if they have the depth to continue to sustain this over a course of time. You're also going to be losing coaching staff. You know what I'm saying? So one thing that happens when you start winning championships, other teams come a calling. And, I don't think this model is sustainable for championship year after year success. Will they compete to be in the playoffs? I think that's established as long as they got Cignetti there, but nah, championship, hell no. And to go back to a point,
long as they got Mark Cuban there.
My God,
you can put money. Texas got money.
No, but I'm saying if you do that donor where you can't get the players, Indiana's not still going to be up there. I'm sorry.
Well,
Mark Cuban going to be there. He's alumni. So
right, that's what I'm saying. As long as Cuban is in pocket,
yeah. Cuban gonna be there, so I think that's gonna be a mainstay.
Yeah, I said that to say I think they'll be in the mix because he's gonna be there.
But let me go back to another point. Y'all kept talking about Tom Brady this, Tom Brady that. Different sport. Having the GOAT don't mean you're gonna be able to see the talent. Because Michael Jordan,
here we go. Here go the jam. He
been GMing for years, and
LeBron had too.
So he can't get shit right.
So LeBron had too.
LeBron got AD. LeBron got Luka. If you want to go that route,
and he got Westbrook. Shit.
So Cignetti, this was his second year with Indiana, right?
He ain't got Michael Kidd Gilchrist.
So last year, Cignetti had a pretty good run and a pretty good stake in the college football playoff last season. This season, he won the championship. You asked the question about what do we see in the future. We don't have any evidence at all that says he can't continue his success. I'm looking at the fact that he's learned at the feet of Saban,
the GOAT,
and built a program, turned the program around this fast. I don't know why he would change the way that he built this team going into next season. So as long as he's able to pick the right talent going forward, I don't see any reason why
it's a cyclical process.
I don't see any reason, especially when Greg started mentioning depth and all this. Who has depth these days? Depth don't mean shit no more because you rarely gonna have it because
And
players.
that's why you see
Players are
teams come
actually
up
going
and
to
go
play.
down. That's why you see teams going up and down.
Yeah, but
what you talking about?
He just dealt with it last year. He dealt with it last year, came back this year with an even better team, and won the entire thing. Undefeated season. Undefeated. No losses, no blemishes.
Sure. We'll definitely find out. We're going to find out.
I think we're looking at the next Saban run. That's what I think.
Hell no.
But
we'll definitely find out, though. But hell no. I'll bank that away for next college football season. We'll see.
Man, please. I'll bet $1 million he won't be no Saban.
Yeah, I will too.
Hell no. Stop.
Count me. Put me down for $1 million too. But anyway, let's move to the NFL, man. We got to move on, man. Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen, the choke job. You know what I'm saying? Did they just blow their best chance at a Super Bowl, bro?
I mean, it's set up for Josh Allen to, you know what I'm saying, out of all the quarterbacks, we talk about quarterbacks, but when you look at it, they still were pretty, especially on the defensive end. Yeah, Josh Allen, as far as who he had to face, as far as quarterbacks were concerned, he didn't have to face Pat Mahomes. He didn't have Lamar Jackson anymore. He didn't have Joe Burrow. I guess we finna have to do something different with Joe Burrow. But the quarterbacks that he had to go up against it's not like they go up one-on-one. People assume that it should be Josh Allen's turn to win the Super Bowl. But I think the biggest issue that was going to come to a head, whether it was in this past round, the championship round, or in the Super Bowl, their defense couldn't stop the run whatsoever. They really wasn't a good defense. Now, I see your hand over your head. I'm not saying that Josh Allen.
Stop. Then don't start there. That's what pisses me off. Don't start there.
I can start with my want to start.
No, don't start there. Start with his ass.
I can start wherever. I can
carrying the goddamn football like a loaf of bread with 16 seconds left in the first half and giving up 3 points. Start with his ass.
Let me say what I'm going to say. I'm just saying what I'm saying.
Everybody was protecting this motherfucker.
What I'm saying is that it wasn't a foregone conclusion. That's the narrative that people want to paint. He got the win. Yeah, he got the win. But when we look at their entire team, his defense was trash. They couldn't stop the run. Bo Nix was lighting their ass up. However, Josh Allen definitely lost them that game. You started to say it, and I agree. He fucked up. He fumbled the ball at the halftime. I don't know why the coach put him in that position to do that, but even still, 28 seconds left. We've seen you put points on the board with less time. I get it. You can't hold a ball like a loaf of bread in that situation. I thought he lateraled that bitch when I first seen it. I was like, did he lateral this motherfucker? Then he had some passes that could have been touchdowns that he missed. He had the interceptions. One of them I don't think was his fault. But you can't turn the ball over 4 times you lose the game by 3 points. The 3 points that you needed to tie the game were there in the half when you fumbled the ball and gave them a free 3 points. I mean, there's no way to slice it other than Josh Allen lost this game. Now, to your question, was this his best chance? I'm not going to say that because, again, I'm pointing to the fact that he would have had to go up against other teams that would be able to put points on the board. Could he have outdueled them? Maybe so. But was it his best chance when we talk about the team around him, the defense? He had sufficient weapons from the running back position, tight end position. Wide receivers was kind of iffy. He didn't have bad wide receivers. He had enough good wide receivers, but was it his most talented wide receiver group? No. Was it the most talented wide receiver group left in the playoffs? No. He fucked up that game, point blank, period, but definitely not his best chance to win the Super Bowl.
Okay. Jerry, was this his best shot?
Most definitely. This was his best chance to win a Super Bowl.
So are y'all saying this is
simply
because
because
he won't win one in his career?
This was his best
That's
chance
what you're
to win a
saying?
Super Bowl because he
Bullshit.
didn't have the Ravens.
Y'all crazy.
He didn't have the Ravens. He didn't have the Chiefs. The Chiefs has been his kryptonite his entire career. And he beat both of those teams in the regular season. So to not have to face them and to have teams that we consider lesser opponents than he's had in the past.
With lesser quarterbacks.
Young quarterbacks in the playoffs this year. Yeah, this was his best chance to do it. Now, am I going to say that he's not going to win one? If they would have kept the same coach, I would have put him in the same category that I have Lamar Jackson in, because I don't think Lamar Jackson is going to win a Super Bowl with the Ravens. I don't give a damn who they coach, who their coach is. I don't give a damn. I would have put him in that boat, but we're going to see who they're going to anoint as their next coach to see what they bring to the table. But yeah, you can hang the L on Josh. He was that guy. You know, I don't know. I couldn't tell in that game where he activated. You know, people say he has a Superman mode to go into. I can't recall where he went into that. He picked the wrong time.
In the game where he did, though. He had spurts in the game where he did.
He picked the wrong time to have, you know, one of his worst games we've seen him play in the playoffs. Now, yeah, he was playing against a terrific defense, but he didn't look like the Josh Allen we've seen through this year or last year. Now, some of the stuff Greg is saying has some validity as far as that defense. That defense played like they played all year long. They couldn't stop the run all year long. The defense has been a question all year long. His receiving core has been a question for the last 2 years, or probably ever since Diggs has left or whatnot. I know we go to what's his name? Y'all help me. Shakir. What's his best wide receiver?
Here.
Yeah. So you know, people say he's good enough. I agree. You know, when you got a talent like Josh Allen, I would say that he's good enough. But none of the dots seem to connect in this game. And it didn't look like they were gonna, you know, it didn't look like, even though, you know, it was neck and neck. It just didn't feel like the Bills, you know, were gonna win it. Now I'm not saying they would have had to blow the Broncos out because of that defense, but my goodness, can we just see the guy that we are accustomed to seeing? And we just never got to that. But kudos to Denver, kudos to Sean Payton. His play calling was superb in the game. The defense held steady like they've held all year long. And again, you know, they're one of those teams that's been coming back and winning close games. And this was a close game, and they ended up pulling it out. So kudos to them. I don't want to take anything away from them because they played well on the other side of the ball to beat them.
We're going to move to the next game, but quick question before we move. Should McDermott have been fired?
I mean,
I wouldn't have fired him.
9 seasons, no Super Bowl. And man, it's a, you know, it's a what have you done for me lately league. And if the quarterback ain't trash, you know who got to go next.
And then Bean get promoted to president of football operations when he's drafted 2 Pro Bowlers in his tenure. I thought that was crazy. Coach gets fired, but Bean gets promoted to president.
Crazy. Yeah, I would have gone the GM route. So I'm agree with y'all. I don't think it should have been fired. I
wouldn't have fired him. I'm just kind of old school in that way. If I'm having success with my coach and they have had success, I heard today that they had made the playoffs for 15, 16 years before he got there.
Right.
And then as soon as they got Josh Allen, they've been in the playoffs, you know, every time. So I wouldn't have fired them, but I'm just old school. You know, I like to see coaches hang around for a long time as long as they're winning. Yeah, I wouldn't have fired. That's kind of crazy. I believe Nick Wright called his record at 98 wins to 50 losses or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have
Hasn't been super successful, young boy. Let's get to this next one, man, because this one I really want to get into. Texans, CJ Stroud. Of course, this is all about the QBs, man. Wasted a defensive performance, but we're not even gonna get into all that. Congratulations to the Pats for winning and all that. Yada yada yada. Congrats. The better team did not win, but yada 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 yada. So that's
The
here.
better team didn't win?
No, the hell they did not.
Yeah, they did.
No, the hell they did
better
not.
defense won.
The better defense didn't win. Let me put it that way. The better defense didn't win. Let me put it that. Let me change that. The better defense didn't win.
No, you need to change it to the quarterback who sucked the most.
So, and that's where I'm going.
Yeah.
Do Houston have a CJ Stroud problem right now?
Yes, they do.
Should they be looking
yes.
Should they be looking for a different answer at quarterback?
Yes, they should. Yes, they should. Absolutely.
That shit was ridiculous, dog.
He has lost his confidence. You can see it in his face.
Yes, and body language. What the fuck?
This ain't just a 2-game sample where he's had 10 fucking turnovers. This has been for the last 2 seasons. And I tried to tell y'all whoever it was trying to crown CJ Stroud as a top 5 quarterback, even top 10. Yeah, you was sadly mistaken. There was some conversation. I'm not going to necessarily say it, y'all. I'm going to go back on the wax and find it. But I do remember one of y'all, Baby Dante, because he was definitely a Texan.
I talked about the Houston Texans. I never talked about CJ Stroud. I talked about the team.
We had conversations on top 10 quarterbacks, and I'm pretty sure one.
Oh no, I ain't never had
nobody put CJ Stroud in the top 10.
All right. So it wasn't y'all, but it had definitely been said. He was on Nick Wright's mountain, which we know that's a bunch of bullshit. He had it was a lot of people just had CJ Stroud as this up and coming, just like you did Jaden Daniels, and I ain't saying y'all did it, but you know what I have said about these quarterbacks that's coming in with these one hit wonder quarterbacks. Give me 3 years. Give me 3 years so I can, place you correctly. CJ Stroud is ass. He is ass. He has played ass for 2 years. No, he's played poorly for 2 years. He's played ass these last 2 games. And they won one of them.
Atrocious.
My God.
I mean, atrocious, dog. Like 10
that first pick he threw on that sideline, I'm like, bruh, dude was wide open.
Bruh, what you doing? And the one where he got the dude fucked up, like, dude, what you doing, dog? He got his own man injured trying to catch it, dog. I'm like, man, this shit crazy, dog. And then his body language, the whole team saw you were defeated. You know what I'm saying? Everybody could look at you and tell you wasn't going to get it back, which is why I was disappointed in D'Amico for not yanking his ass. He should have yanked his ass, dog. I said that shit at halftime. Yank his ass, dog. He ain't got it today. Yank his ass. Davis Mills played solid this year.
Right.
He's 3-0 as a starter. You owe it to the team to yank his ass when you look in his eyes and see what he was looking like. Yank his ass, D'Amico. Yank his ass.
Yank his ass. Just like, it would be different if CJ had been playing great ball all season and just was having a bad game. I can see that. Like, I have confidence knowing he ain't did shit.
I think
in 2 years.
I got to go back to Dante saying that the best team didn't win.
I changed it though. The best. I said the best. I changed it. I should have said best defense. The better defense definitely did not win.
Okay, so you're saying that out of all 4 units, offensive and defense, you're saying that
the best unit
that
the field was definitely
the best unit was Houston's defense. Okay,
take CJ Stroud away.
Right. Okay,
Texans
cool.
win that game.
Cool.
You put 31
You
put 31 other quarterbacks as the Houston Texans quarterback yesterday or the other day. They win that damn game.
I'll go with you on the best unit on the field was the Houston Texans defense. I will agree with you on that. But was CJ Stroud's play yesterday the Patriots defense looked like the best defense on the field yesterday. The Patriots don't even have a pass rush. They haven't had a pass rush all year. And they were in this boy's grill all game long. And CJ Stroud chose the worst option every time the defense got in his face. He chose the worst option. The one where he just threw the pick six. Come on, man. Like, what are you doing? He looked afraid. He looked confused. I'm not even gonna say he looked afraid. He was afraid. He was afraid.
Yeah.
The offensive line, didn't give him any
Yeah.
help. When they tried to hold the back end, the back didn't give him any help. So they have issues with their offensive front for sure. But I do have to agree with Greg that the past 2 seasons, and I just looked up his stats. I think his success, part of his success in his first season was having decent run game, and the fact that he only had 5 interceptions in his rookie season. Part of that is probably you're a rookie and you trying your best not to throw the damn ball away. But the last 2 years, I guess with him trying to come into his own, he hasn't looked as good as that first season at all. And this season he just was horrid. I posted in the group not too long ago that I'm correlating this time frame of him starting to play bad with him getting on his damn podcast with Michael Parsons. And ever since I've seen him on this damn podcast, I haven't seen him be as successful as he was before that. So maybe a lot less time fooling around with Michael Parsons' goofy ass and get yourself in the lab and get your game together, because it's a damn shame to waste the defense, the Houston Texans defense time like he's doing. Pulling him in the game, he deserved to be pulled. He deserved to be pulled yesterday. That's for sure. He should have been yanked. A more veteran coach probably would have pulled him just to, just to see if the defense can lead them to victory. But he should have been pulled yesterday. He did absolutely nothing.
And my thing too, D'Amico, man, I know he's a Shanahan disciple or whatever, but they got to get off this. We don't need no offensive line shit. You know what I'm saying? And we can do it with whatever on the offensive line. Trading away Laramie Tunsil to the Commanders, your best lineman. Stop doing this. You need a fucking offensive line, dog. I'm sorry. I know the schemes are good. Great. Not putting no money in your offensive line, dog. And I know he got that shit from Shanahan. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't love doing it either. You know what I'm saying? That shit show up against good teams, dog. I'm sorry. It just does.
You're going to lose that somewhere else. This ain't add and add and add. It's not.
No, I know, but damn, you got to invest in the fucking offensive line at some point, especially if you got a QB who going to look the fuck like that in a divisional round game when he ain't got no protection.
Well, his offensive line didn't do him any favors either. But
right, that's what I'm saying. Like, and you got to invest in that shit though. They traded away their best lineman.
They win that game if they don't turn it over. They win that game.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
They beat the Patriots if they don't turn it over.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah, easily.
Yeah, they beat them if they don't turn it over.
Easily.
So we just destroyed the Texans, and rightfully so, and destroyed CJ Stroud, and rightfully so. So we can't give any props to Vrabel's job over on the other side of the field. We can't give them any props. They won. They made all the right
he gave them their props when he first introduced.
They get nothing from me, dog. Nothing.
The Patriots get nothing.
I'm give them their props. They get their props. But I'm just saying the Texans win that game if they don't turn it over.
Yes, easily.
Yes, the defense has to make they have to have an impact for you to turn it over. But these turnovers were rookie mistakes. They didn't do anything on that turnover I was talking about on the sideline. That other turnover, a rookie makes that mistake. A 3-year vet, when you're being pressured and then you just don't loft the ball up into coverage, nobody was open, you just don't throw it so you don't take the sack, you take the sack.
They gave up 143 yards passing. I mean, come on, dog. They win that game easily.
On that sideline with when Carlton Davis picked that out route. If he throw it to the sideline instead of inside, it's not picked.
Yeah.
They also gave up 3 touchdown passes.
One of those touchdowns was a pick 6.
In that
One of those touchdowns was a pick 6.
Yeah, but look at the position. But look at the position that CJ Stroud put him in. But look at the position Stroud put him in, though. Like, come on, dog. Come on. Anybody watching that know, without them turnovers, they win that damn game easily.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move, man.
I can't
Niners at the Hawks. We ain't gonna spend a lot of time.
Yeah, we is.
Niners get blown out. Great season. Well, before we can get to that, congratulations to my boy Robert Saleh, new coach, Tennessee Titans. Congratulations. He's a head coach again, so congratulations.
Saleh's out of his damn mind for taking that job. There's no way you take the Titans.
I was thinking too, we can do a show on when all the openings are filled. We'll get to that. We'll do it.
Everybody stay no goddamn head coaching maneuvers.
He's out of here.
Got blown out, man.
Only one people interested in is tumbling. Everybody else can kick rocks.
We ran out of horses and
magic.
Pixie dust. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you'll get no pushback from me. Yeah, you're exactly right. You know what I'm saying? You're exactly right. You know what I'm saying? But great season based on what we dealt with. You know what I'm saying? So great. I'm not mad about it. You know, he did it. To me, this is his best coaching job by far. You know what I'm saying? With what he had to deal with. It's his best coaching job. You know what I'm saying?
Shanahan.
Nobody expected us to win that game. I didn't even expect us to win that game.
Yeah, Shanahan definitely. Shanahan definitely deserves Coach of the Year
easily.
Easily deserves Coach of the Year for the job that he did. We talked about it. We talked about it at the beginning of the season as far as the way our team was formed and everything was shaped up. After we made moves, we said that the owner had come in and said, "Hey, we're gonna chop these price tags down."
Yeah, he said it. I mean, he said it in the interview.
And you're gonna have to coach. You're gonna have to coach this team. So he's proven that part. You know, he's always been a good coach, but this was phenomenal. We could not overcome the injury bug. We're talking about devastating injuries all season long. I know we were talking about before this game that Fred Warner was probably going to come back. As soon as I saw it, I was like, man, don't put that boy on the field. I don't care how good he's feeling or what he looked like. Don't do that. That's not going to help us win this game.
That would have been short-sighted.
Yeah. I went to a party Friday night, a 50th birthday party.
A bunch of parties this weekend, didn't you?
I only went to one party. I went to a 50th birthday party on Friday night, and the bouncer at the club is a 49ers fan, and we talked. And you know, he the fan in him was saying that, I think we can win that game, blah blah. I said, come on, cuz. There's no way we can win that game. They just beat the dog shit out of us in the regular season. You know, we have no horses. We don't even have Kittles. You know, Kittles is done for the year. So, you know, our weapons are down. We got one star on the field, and he's injured. So, good season. You hate to lose the way we did in the playoffs or whatever, but you know, a complete team beat us, and you know, I'm not mad at that at all.
All right, now here you go. Get your jokes in. Get your jokes.
What jokes? I mean, you see it. You seen it.
First of all, America, this is a cowboy. Look behind. There's a cowboy fan with jokes.
Man, I don't want to hear none of that. I ain't suffering no fools. I said it all season long. The 49ers was ass. They got in the playoffs off pixie dust. They had a weak-ass schedule. And just like I told y'all last week, that they was going to get their ass whipped, get their ass crushed. And it was
the same thing before the Eagle game. You said the same thing before the Eagle game.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. You got me on wax saying that?
Yes, you did.
No, I did not. I didn't say a word. I didn't say a word because I told y'all that the Eagles, I didn't trust the Eagles. I said that. And y'all got mad at me for saying that I think the Packers had a better chance. But that's neither here nor there. What we're talking about is the 49ers got their ass kicked like they were supposed to get kicked. They were a trash team that made the playoffs. Kudos to them for making the playoffs with the bunch of injuries they had. There's nothing you can expect from a team when their best wide receiver is a running back who can barely run because he's light-bodied in the ass. And it is what it is. You got Brock Purdy as your best quarterback, and he's good. He's a good quarterback, but he needs pieces. He needs the system to work. He's not going to move the team and move the needle on his own. He ain't that type. He ain't that guy.
And exactly what we just said.
He ain't that guy.
Good season, except for the injuries.
He ain't that guy.
You saying the same shit we just said.
That ain't what you said
the same shit we just said.
What did you say last week?
You saying Shanahan did a good job.
Tell me what you said last week.
What you're saying is Shanahan did a good job. And the injuries.
Tell me what did you say last week? Did you say that last week? Did you say that last week?
Same shit we
Did you say that last week?
Exactly the same shit we just said.
Dang, Niner gang.
Again, great.
Out of here.
America, he's saying the same
out
shit. Yeah, good season derailed by
I didn't say no good season. I said pixie dust. A bunch of pixie dust, magic, bare knuckle, what you call them, white knuckle.
So you're saying it's a magical season. Thank you. Okay, it was magical. You're exactly right. It was magical.
I'm not giving you none of my takes. He told me.
It was a white knuckle wet.
I'm not giving you my takes.
Y'all was ass. I said it all season. Get out of here. And they proved it on the field. 41-6, a 40 burger. Any of y'all want a cheeseburger? Any of y'all want a 40 burger?
Oh shit.
Hey, y'all was the only team in the playoffs to give them 40 points. The only team.
That take.
Yeah.
This man has to wait for our season to end.
Right.
Every season.
Right.
Every season of his NFL life, he has to wait until our season is over to have any type of joy or satisfaction for his NFL squad.
That's gotta be the craziest fandom ever. You know
what you say?
Like, damn,
what do you say?
You don't live and die. He don't live and die with his team. He don't live and die with his team's success or failure. He live and die with our team's success or failure.
Reality is not enough for this guy.
Didn't we just do this? Didn't we just go through this a few weeks ago when Alabama lost to Indiana?
We ain't talking about Alabama. We're talking about the Cowboys.
Didn't we just do that?
Hey, now I want to go back to college.
Right.
Did the Cowboys play last week? Did the Cowboys
get smashed 41-6? It's based on our success.
My shit talking is based on y'all getting y'all ass kicked and y'all saying that y'all wasn't gonna lose and you was gonna be in it.
You can even talk NFL football. That's crazy.
I've been talking NFL football all season long. I've had my joyous times when we beat the Chiefs, when we beat the Eagles. So you can shut that shit up.
I hear you.
You can shut that shit up.
We beat the Eagles
without G League. But you got your ass whooped. We should have started the segment. We should have started the show off with this topic. We should have started the show off with this topic.
We beat the Eagles with Scotch tape.
That's probably why you didn't want to get on. We had to beg you to get your ass on because y'all got your ass whooped.
Nobody tried to hear that.
His team was healthy all year and still couldn't fucking make the playoffs.
Hey, your team was healthy all year and got your ass whooped 41-6.
Damn.
Don't even matter.
We got our G League squad and we winning playoff games.
That's y'all squad. That was your squad. You lost.
Right, let's move, man. We got to go to the next game, man.
41-6.
The Rams go to Chicago, man, and pull it out, man. We don't really got to break down that game. The question really is about Caleb for me. Are you convinced now?
No.
I'll start with you, G. Are you convinced that he's this star now that everybody is saying that he is? Is he that?
I'm convinced that he ain't a bust like you guys said he was. I'm convinced that he's better than Brock. I'll take him over Brock Purdy any day, all day. Caleb Williams will be that guy. Now, I don't know if he's going to
be what? Now, see, no, I'm not. I want it on wax right now. What does that guy mean?
He's going to be a top 10 talented quarterback in the league.
Top 10. Now, see, I see how you're trying to fit that in. He might be top 10 talented already. What the fuck does that mean? Where would he rank?
He will be a top 10 producing quarterback.
Okay. All right. I want it on wax. Okay. I want it on
That
wax.
is on wax.
Okay.
He is going to be one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league for sure.
Gary, you agree with that shit?
Hell no. Listen, this man gonna have to change my mind with his play on the field and be consistent.
What are we talking about?
In order for him to make me,
we ain't talking about him.
In order for him to make me forget the way he was missing the Nets in the preseason or in camp and having a hissy
receivers in the game
with no defense, and that, until he can erase that moment of frustration with what he was doing in practice, he's going to have to consistently play the quarterback position from a command standpoint. Miss me with all his expressions and the way he carries himself on the field when they're not doing well. I don't care about this comeback. You trying to say he got a comeback ability. I don't care about that. I mean, at some point, if you fucking up all game, at some point, something is going to click. And just for him, in the last 2 minutes of games, it kind of clicks for him. So when you going to give the defense some props on that for keeping the game close until he can find his way to some winning plays? As far as that pass he threw at the end of the game, man, come on, man.
One of the worst defensive plays I've ever seen.
That's some of the luckiest shit I have ever seen on a football field.
Facts.
All he did. Now, the impressive part of it was that he was strong enough to do that. Now, that was impressive.
He did it there. Right.
You know what I'm saying? I give him that. But as far as, he made a play, he didn't make a fucking play. He threw the ball up for grabs to an area on the field. I don't want to hear that.
Thank you. And the goddamn quarterback misjudged the shit because he didn't think he could get it there either.
Exactly. Exactly. You know what I mean? It's a Hail Mary play, and he posted up with the guy. So this man missed me with that. He just threw it to that corner of the end zone. That's all he did. I don't want to.
This dude is inaccurate for 3/4 of the game. And yes, I'll give him credit for the comebacks. That's fine. And
Speaking of comebacks, in the fourth quarter, beat the Nuggets.
Yeah, I saw it. In the fourth quarter, yes, does he seem to find his way? But you cannot and will not live as an NFL quarterback doing it that way. You can't be below 60% completion, missing wide open targets for 3/4 of the game. That's not sustainable to be a top 10 quarterback.
And let's not forget who is the most inaccurate quarterback in the NFL to date for the past 2 seasons. You know who that is? Caleb. The most inaccurate quarterback that we've seen in quite some time. For 2 years in a row, he's the most inaccurate quarterback. Well, no, you're not going to be top 10
with the genius Ben Johnson.
Right. You can't be a top 10 quarterback and you're the most inaccurate. That's an oxymoron, sir. You can't be a top 10 quarterback and be most inaccurate. Get out of here.
G is enamored with the wow play. Oh, wow. Look at his arm. Oh, wow. I don't give a shit about that. Consistency is what I want in my quarterback play. I don't give a damn that he can make. Yes, his arm, he's a phenomenal arm talent. Yes, I don't take that from him, but he's not a good quarterback yet. He's not a good, and he won't be.
He's in his second season, gentlemen. He's in his second season. Okay.
Right. We seem to know that. We seem to know that.
I know that everyone knows that. Who doesn't know that he's in his second season?
You're acting like he's gonna be. You're prognosticating he's gonna be some superstar based on what? Based on what though? Based on what?
Based on his arm strength and his moxie when the game is on the line. That's what it's based on. And I'm banking on
the eye test. Oh, the eye test. Okay.
We do a lot of eye tests around here. What the fuck?
Well, the eye test says his ass is not accurate. And that's the most important trait for a quarterback.
Richardson got a strong arm too.
Right.
Milroe got a strong arm too.
Hey man, stop it. Stop it. We ain't finna do that. We're not fixing to do that.
I mean, you're talking strong arms. I'm just throwing other strong arms out there. for
We're
you.
not going to do that.
Just throwing other inaccurate strong arms out there for you. That's all.
Yeah, that's short-sighted. And what I'm
Inaccuracy for
responding
being the most
is
inaccurate
short-sighted. And what
quarterback
I'm
is
responding to is the
short-sighted.
fact that the both of you said that he was going to be a bust. That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm reacting to. And he's not. So
it might still be on the board.
Apologize for calling that man a bust.
It might still be on the board.
Yeah,
it's
definitely on the
it's
table.
Out on the board.
Okay, let me point out
It's
something.
on the board now.
They led the league in takeaways this year. How many times is that going to happen? Their defense was ass, but somehow they led the league in takeaways. You think that's going to happen every year?
Listen, he's not.
Think it's going to happen again next year?
Hey, let me ask you this: how many busts make it to within a quarter of going to the NFC Championship? Tell me that.
Nah,
how many times has Dak made it or failed it? Then we can talk about it. Let me see. Dak.
We talked about Caleb Williams.
Once.
We talked about Caleb Williams. He's made and Dak's made it to the playoffs 4 seasons. 5 seasons.
Time will tell. We'll find out.
Dak is a 5th-round pick.
He definitely will not be a superstar quarterback like you said. He ain't a superstar. He won't be a superstar.
I never said superstar.
He won't be top 10. He won't be top 10.
Okay. All right. He
will not be top 10. So I don't know when we're doing the next show, but let's go and pick the games now. Who you got?
And we already know who winning in the AFC, but without Bo Nix, and they got Jarrett Stidham as the backup. Yeah, easy win, Patriots.
All right, so
I'm going Rams.
And Caleb Williams' rating, his passer rating was higher than Patrick Mahomes this year. So that most inaccurate quarterback shit, miss me with it.
But it's a fact. You don't have to miss you with nothing. It's a fact.
Miss me with it.
You're talking about it's a fact.
Miss me with it.
Miss you with the facts. What?
With his rating. What's the fact?
I didn't talk about it. We talked about his completion.
You talking about his damn rating?
About his rating. I talked about his completion.
What? His completion percentage?
Yeah. Exactly. The worst in the league. Exactly. Yeah. Miss me with that shit. Exactly. Miss me with his completion percentage. Who you got, Jerry? Which two you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
You can keep looking, but it's facts.
I'm gonna go Rams. And of course New England. It's gonna be a weird. The Super Bowl is gonna be weird.
Yeah, I'm going Seahawks, man. I think the Seahawks are gonna get it done. Sam Darnold does worry me. And the fact that they lost,
as he should.
The fact that they lost Charbonnet worries me a little bit too. That 1-2 kind of punch they had at the running game, but I think Seattle at home is going to pull it out. I really do. I want to pick Stidham and the Broncos, but I just cannot. You know what I'm saying?
The bigger the moment, the more likely you are to see the real Sam Darnold.
Right. Now that's a fear of mine, but I'm thinking that defense is going to come to play and that they're going to hold the Rams down and score just enough points to win the game. You know what I'm saying? Just enough points. Control the clock, win the game. Maybe it's the fact that I hate the Rams. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's and I hate Stafford. I hate the way they hype him up, but we'll see. Because Jaworski Tart created this whole thing for them. But
anyway, definitely one of the worst in the league is at the bottom. But definitely one of the worst in the league is at the bottom, though. So it wasn't the worst in the league.
I'm sure out of the qualified, he was the worst.
No, there was 3 other quarterbacks that were qualified. He wasn't still the worst. J.J. McCarthy, Shedeur Sanders.
Niggas who didn't play. Who
they didn't play.
They played like 8 or 9. Come on,
Cal Moore.
Oh, come on, dog. Get the hell out of here, dog.
Yeah. Which one of them was in the playoffs? Which one of them was in the playoffs?
Let's get to this trash,
Which
dog.
one of them was in the playoffs?
At the bottom. You will not consistently win completing 58%. This is not the 70s. You will not win completing 58% of your passes.
Players can get better. They can get better.
He won't get better. Top 10 quarterback.
They can get better. What do teams look at? What out of the quarterback statistics? What is the most looked at stat?
Let's get
Is it touchdowns?
Yeah, let's get to this
touchdown
game,
to
man.
interception ratio? Is it QBR? Is it passer rating? Or is it completion percentage?
Let's get to the next segment.
Accuracy.
Man, stop it.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this.
You just want to defend your bus pick, and it was ass.
I just want to get to the next segment.
Apologize to that man.
Let's talk about it. ICE in Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere, but let's focus on Minnesota, man. Because I got friends in Minnesota. I got college friends in Minnesota, and one of them the other day actually posted that how fearful she is even leaving the house, and her mom calls and checks on her all the time when she leaves the house because of ICE running around doing the things that they're doing. You know what I'm saying? G, you asked a question, man, about Black people, and is it time, and relating it to Black Lives Matter, and is it time for us kind of to come off the sidelines in support of the communities that this is really affecting? What's your thoughts, bro? Because I'm conflicted, but what's your thoughts? Or Jerry, if you want, whoever want to start.
I did too. I am too. I asked the question because I wanted it, because part of me wants to say, yeah, but a big part of me wants to say, fuck that. Y'all voted for this shit.
But we can agree it is trash what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? I think
without 100% doubt, it's super trash. And it is this, I mean, the part of me that wants to say, yeah, we need to get off the sidelines, because when we had the BLM movement in 2020, people don't realize that the Black Lives Matter movement had already started, and it started with that rash of police killings with Mike Brown in St. Louis, and then they had Philando Castile. It was just a rash of police killings, from going all the way back to Trayvon Martin back in 2012. And so I get that there would be a populace that say we stood up for y'all in 2020, we marched and we protested with the BLM movement. But then some of y'all allowed the right-wing media to do like they always do and try to discredit the movement. So, and try to make it seem like it was all about communism and it was a money grab and all that. And I'm pretty sure there were some allegations that may or may not have been found to be true when it comes to money. But the movement and the purpose behind the movement was righteous. And so when people kind of, put that to the side and kind of, did not fight for the stance on Black lives and the stance against police brutality, and allowed the defund the police statement to be bastardized into something that it wasn't, even though that was the Democrats' fault. I'm like, I get where you're saying that we need to stand up with y'all if there is an element that thinks that, but no, you allowed your community to be brainwashed. You allowed your community, you allowed your family members to sit on the sidelines when it was time to vote. You allowed narratives to take shape that wasn't true. You didn't fight and stand with us tooth and nail. You didn't stand in the pocket when it was time to stand in the pocket, when the shit started to really come at BLM and come at police brutality to the point to where, when we see people getting killed by the police and it's still been continuing to happen, it's not even really a where people get mad anymore, because it's like commonplace now. But then now that it's shifted and ICE has started to attack American citizens, it's become
pulling a man out of his house in his underwear in the freezing.
Right.
That was crazy, man.
Yeah, it's definitely wrong, and it's definitely something we should fight for. But I'm like this, man. We've done enough fighting. We've done enough protesting, and it's y'all turn. It's y'all turn to bear this cross. And at some point, you're gonna have to lose blood like we did. You're going to have to be the ones that's on the forefront of the water hose, and then the dogs being sicked on you, and the continuing killing of people because you're protesting. If that's what it takes, then you're going to have to do it. And then when it gets to that moment, when it's time for us to really stand up, we'll stand. But for me right now, no, I'm like, you know, this is what you got. It's like that Joker on the Joker. If y'all seen the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, one of my favorite movies of all time at the end, when he said he made that little statement, made that little speech. And at the end, he said, you get what you fucking deserve. You get what you fucking deserve. You voted for this shit. You stood on the sidelines if you didn't vote for the shit, or you didn't stand with us strong enough. You get what you fucking deserve. And this is what we deserve. We're next. Best believe they coming for us too. At some point, we're gonna get up. But right now, I think the black populace is tired. We've done it.
Yeah. Your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, I'm not gonna politicize the already politicized and political climate. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna sow more seeds of division. I'm not gonna do that. This is a fight. This is a fight for everybody. Yeah, you had the Latino community and others sit on the sideline, vote wrong, yeah. But what we're seeing and what they're doing is completely unlawful. And I'm not one for I'm not one for being bullied or made to be afraid. I keep my eyes on the end goal of all of this. And I feel in my heart of hearts that the end goal of this is to turn this whole thing around, right back around, and pointing at us and try to throw us back into a lesser people because of the powers that be. I really feel like that. I feel like every move being made is pointing that direction, attempting to cut us off from the rest of the world. The two things that stand out to me with all of this ICE stuff is if we go back to when the chat room was exposed with the Republicans or whomever or the MAGA, talking about women. I think it might have been Jasmine Crockett, if I'm not mistaken, saying, they're going to be raped. I can't wait till they're in chains and all that type of stuff that was going on. I look back to that because there are people out there that want that. We're finally starting to expose some of these ICE individuals, these cowards in these masks. We're starting to see that they are members of the Proud Boys and the QAnon and all that. They're starting to be exposed. People are finally starting to put their side-by-side pictures together and put that out there. I had those thoughts before they even start doing that, because who else would join a militia for Trump to come out and just be reckless with this? But I draw the line at murder. So I can't get on the board with, dividing and not wanting to fight back against that. I think that's everybody's fight and not just other people's alone. I thought that was kind of crazy, G, to say it's time for y'all blood to be spilled. That's a little bit too far. For me, I can't go that far. If we're gonna live here, which we all plan on living here, it's a fight for everybody. So, when this shit comes to Alabama, and I'm specifically thinking of the midterms and voting, I think we're going to see those boots on the ground when we show up to the polls. I think those boys are going to be there, and it's going to be some decisions that everybody got to make on going in to make your vote. I think it's going to ramp up before we get there, simply because the courts and the judicial system are just late on everything. They're behind in every single thing, even though they're doing it the way it's supposed to be done. But while we're waiting on those things to get passed and things to be done, they wilding. They wilding out here, son. They wilding on everybody. So it ain't just them that's in those detention centers. There's some black people in those detention centers too. There's some black children in those detention centers. There's people dying in those detention centers. So
they're being raped in them too, from what I've heard.
I don't see of say it again.
They're being raped in the detention center too, from what I've heard. There was a report of a woman being raped.
Well, they,
in exchange for seeing her children.
That's
just a report I read. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't doubt. I won't doubt any of the evil atrocities when we're talking about people that used to hang us from trees and burn us alive at the stake, and people lying on us to have danger placed on us, and 12 and 13-year-old boys sent to prison with grown men to live out the rest of their days. 13 and 14-year-old black boys being put in electric chairs. Black women being having their bodies torn apart just so they can learn the reproductive system. So we're talking about those type of white people, right? We're talking about those. So I don't doubt any of the atrocities that we're going to hear that's happening in these detention centers. And we just saw it live on the street when a man can pull out his gun and shoot a woman, unarmed woman, in the face, right? So I don't doubt any of that. And to me, that's a fight for everybody, because it's life or death, right? And it's going to come to our doorstep, and we're going to have to be ready. That's why I'm always saying guard your grill. That's, some people say pray. I say guard your grill. That's me.
I mean, the impact I'm with you that it's going to impact everybody eventually. I'm not as far as their blood needs to spill more, or I'm not on that either. But as far as answering the questions, not for me. As far as getting off the sidelines if you're talking about getting out there protesting, it's not that time for me. I don't feel it in my spirit at this point that it's that time for me. You know what I'm saying? I do agree with G as far as the premise of do we have to be the people? Why we always got to be the bigger people? That does get tiring. And this coming from a man who I am a Christian and I do believe, you know what I'm saying? But as a black man, it gets tiring. It really does. It just really gets tiring having to turn the other cheek all the time, having to be the bigger race all the time. It's like we're trained to do it by our religions sometimes. We're trained to turn the other cheek. We're trained to forgive them for whatever they're doing. And it gets tiring at times, you know what I'm saying? Where sometimes when it's not specifically your fight per se, maybe this time, hey, we sit it out for a while, you know what I'm saying? And let them kind of see this is what it is when you're targeted. This is what it looks like. And I see the frustration in a lot of these white people's faces. I saw it in Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? I see it, and I see it in their faces because they're not used to it. Wait a minute, what is this? You know what I'm saying? Our civil liberties are being affected. Like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? And I can see it in their faces, and now everybody's like, well, where's the black community? Well, where the hell is everybody when we going through it day to day? We got to pick up and be like, okay, let's get in the fight. You know what I'm saying? When people the Jewish community doesn't do that for us all the time. You know what I'm saying?
The Asian community,
these other communities, the Hispanic community, everybody's on board. I mean, yeah. Now I'm going to go back to this. You remember when in New York, I think it was, all the Asian people were being attacked, like just in broad daylight, getting punched and hit with bats or whatever. Do you see how quickly Republican and Democrat, everybody came together and made a law? It's not like that for us. You know what I'm saying? And that to me is the frustrating part. It's like we have to fight every fight. We supposed to be in it. Like, well, where's the black community? What are you gonna
Not
do?
this time. Not this time.
And it gets tiring.
Until it come to our
It's tiring.
doorstep. Until it come to our doorstep. I don't think we need to get, I think like you just said, Dante, it's their time. And I don't know why y'all got offended by me saying their blood needs I'm not saying that their blood should shed, but we shed blood to get our rights. Our ancestors shed blood to get our rights. And if it comes to that, and they have to do that, I'm not wishing that on anybody. I'm just saying that we just saw a young lady lost her life, got shot in the face, and I'm not, it was sad. It was terrible, for that lady's family to lose her in that manner. But that's the shit that we've been putting up with for decades and centuries. And if it comes to that, and they have to bear that burden, they have to bear that cross, then it's their turn to do that, because they have not had to do that since the Revolutionary War or the Civil War, when they were fighting to keep us enslaved. It's their time. That's what I'm saying. It's their time. And we definitely are next. I am not dismissive of that point. I am not I'm not in a state of mind that says that, this is just on the illegal immigrant community. We know who they coming for next. That's why we tried to get them to vote the right way. We fought tooth and nail for the Black Lives Matter movement. We were angry. We protested. We had statues removed. And they got out there and they finally was like, there's no way I can sit on the sideline. So they got out there and made signs and protested. But again, they didn't stay in the pocket with us, because if they did, laws would have been passed. Laws would have been passed. They would have voted for more Democrats, the independents I'm speaking of. And the people that, don't obviously, don't know who to vote for. And then the ones that voted Democrat in 2020 got out and voted Republican in 22 and 24. That's what I'm speaking of. The people that are not Trump's 35%. They're not his base. But the people that really, that have, some amount of dignity and some amount of respect for the Black community, for illegal immigrants. Let's not even say that, for any other minority community. Those are the people that they have to bear this burden. They have to carry this torch. They have to carry this torch. They're going to have to continue to carry the torch until we, as the Black community, if you feel like you need to get out there, Jerry, by all means, anybody else. If you feel like it's time to get out the sideline, get out the sideline. But for me, hey, I'm just trying to make ends meet right now, bro, until it's time, because I'm tired.
I've been tired. Say her name too. The young lady's name is Renee Nicole Good. So I just want to make sure.
Say her name.
Yeah, make sure we give her that respect.
Let's say her name, Renee Nicole Good.
So I just want to,
amongst the other people that have lost their lives over the years, Philando Castile, Mike Brown, Eric Garner, Trayvon Martin. Say their name, Sandra, whatever. I can't remember her last name.
Bland.
Sandra Bland. Put her name and all the others. And when that shit was happening, I always was of the thought that we shouldn't necessarily highlight make it all about the loss of Black lives. We should talk about police brutality. That's it. It's police brutality, no matter who it's against. We know it's against us, but it's police brutality. And this is all that this is. Law enforcement overstepping their bounds illegally. Half the motherfuckers didn't even pass the fucking test. You talk about DEI. They had to lower the standards to let some of them in. But yeah, I don't know if we need to get out the sideline. So that's your own opinion, but I say no.
So you willing to get out there in March, Jerry? Are you at that point?
We've had a couple of I just did the MLK run. Although that wasn't a protest, that was a celebration. Some we should do. Everybody should. I think everybody should. It should be more people doing that every year. I didn't feel we didn't sing any songs or whatever. I thought there should have been, but it was a good time anyway.
I went to my first MLK parade yesterday. That was the first time I went to an MLK parade.
That was the first time?
I've never known a city to have an MLK parade. We never had one in Decatur. I never heard about one in Birmingham, not one in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I don't know how it's been going down in Birmingham as of recent. I hadn't been since I was a little
I've been to MLK breakfasts and places like that,
they
but
used to
not a parade.
They used to go from the church of the bombing to the statue in Lynn Park. They used to do that every year. I'm not sure if they still do it.
That ain't that far.
I don't know, huh?
That ain't that far. That's
yeah, I know, but it was it used to be crazy. You know what I'm saying? As far as the people, but everybody used to gather at the church, and then go to the park and gather around the statue, and there was always speakers.
People spoke.
Okay. Right. Yeah. People spoke at Lynn Park. I used to do that as a little boy.
I was talking specifically ice.
Well, I haven't. The question is, will I go?
Would you go? Let's say there was one here. Would you go? Would you feel compelled to go based on the situation?
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, probably so. Yeah, probably so. They've been doing some protests here. They've been doing they've done 2 No Kings protests here in Birmingham that I know of. They gathered on the south side when Renee Good was killed. They shut the south side down for a little bit for that. So if there's a ICE protest, I would probably go to that, because like I said, I think that they're going to be here when it's time to vote. I think they're going to be here, so we ain't going to have a choice.
No, I think they're going to be in Democratic strongholds. I think that's where they'll be. I don't think they care about Alabama. I think they care about Democratic strongholds, and I think they'll be there. And I think that's what they're going to target.
Well, I think they'll be.
They're gonna probably go back to Chicago.
Yeah, it's gonna be Democratic strongholds or Democratic cities. That's where they're gonna really go. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they're gonna. They're gonna win Alabama regardless. They don't. They're gonna be in those Democratic strongholds that are gonna sway the election. That's where he's gonna implement them at, to try to scare black people from going.
Well, he's already made people afraid. If you've been watching the reports of the people with boots on the ground, Jolly, what is it? The Jolly Ginger and Don Lemon.
Oh yeah, I know that.
If you've been watching them, they have been reporting. My man Gunny. I don't know if y'all been keeping up with him, but Gunny. All 3 of them have been reporting the same things as far as the cities where ICE is, like, business is shut down. Like some of the busiest parts of town, it's a ghost town. So
I got friends in Minnesota, and they say, when they leave the house, it's
the busiest parts of town, nobody's there. People are pulling their kids out of school. So to have that effect now, and knowing that they're recruiting more and more ICE agents by the day, they're going to have more people out during voting time, and people are going to have to make a decision as far as to try to fight through that. Because at that point, anybody brown and black, they're going to be trying to fuck them up. Or
definitely we need to get off the sideline, or try to encourage our brethren and sisters that are in those communities that they're going to be heavily invested in. We're going to have to make sure that we, continue to support them in whatever way we can from here, and, continue to encourage them to fight the good fight. That's when we get off the sideline, when it's all right, when it's impacting us. But the protesting, y'all can sing the "We Shall Overcome" and, go in and deal with the bear spray and all the chemical agents that they deploying, the smoke bomb, the little car they smoked. What it was, a car that they smoke bombed and almost killed.
The car caught fire.
Mother and father, family. With 6 kids. they were just trying to get home from their youngest son's basketball game, and they ran into in the community, not at a protest spot or nothing like that. They were just trying to get home through the block. You know what I'm saying? And ICE had set up a roadblock in their community, in their neighborhood, and it went left. And they started tear gassing everybody, and one of the canisters blew up, exploded by their car,
right?
And the bang set off their airbags, so they couldn't get out. And not only did when it set off their airbags, I'm not sure if they sent one inside the car, I think.
Yeah, I think
and they had to fight for their lives to get out, but because they couldn't see and they had to use windows and shit, they could only get one child out at a time. Mom going to get one, dad going to get one, and the baby, unfortunately, was last because of the car seat. And by the time they got their child out, she said that the baby was lifeless. CPR, fortunately, was able to save his life.
Terrible.
Or whatever.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
and I wonder what kind of reprieve these folks gonna get from all this bullshit, man. And the Republicans that have sat idly by and allowed this shit to fucking happen on their watch without them being any type of oversight, without them executing any part of their fucking job to be the branch to hold the power in check. They rather kowtow to this fucking bastard, man. This shit pisses me the fuck off, man.
They're in the Epstein files. They're in there. The ones that ain't saying a damn thing, and especially the ones that's okay with it and speaking up and saying that Renee Good tried to kill the ICE officer, they're in the Epstein files.
This shit's sad, man. This
they're
shit's sad.
In there, man.
A blatant cover-up of a fucking pedophile ring. It's ridiculous, man. I don't know if they allow this shit to go unchecked. I know that ain't gonna happen while he got all this power, but the moment that they're able to get it back, hopefully in this next election, if they don't do exactly what he's done, immediately bring charges. I don't give a fuck what they got to do. Fucking do it. The shit that Biden did, I get it. You were trying to play by the rules. But you don't do that shit with this. I can go on. We need to end it, man. This just pisses me off.
The Epstein files.
These crackers are fucked up. Crackers are fucked up. They have shown their true colors, and they will never put the genie back in the bottle.
The Epstein files were supposed to be. They were ordered to be released a month ago.
Right.
They still haven't been released.
They're trying to get the judge to throw it out.
They're working on that now, but that was like a month ago, which proves
unbelievable.
Which proves the depths of how many people are in there. It was an international ring. So you got people in other countries that don't want that shit out there.
And the problem is what people are talking about, though. It's people on both sides in there.
Exactly.
And that's bring them all down.
Exactly.
Bring them all down.
It's people on both sides who don't want it out.
Yep.
That's why it'll never come out, especially unsanitized. It'll never come out.
That's bullshit. That's the most violent
both sides. We gotta go, man. But man, it's interesting. It's getting interesting and scary around here. But
it's crazy.
With the old heads, man. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us tonight. We know it's late, but till next time, don't forget, smash that like and subscribe button on YouTube, Trash Talking with the Old Heads.
Guard your grill.
Trash Talking with the Old Heads. And welcome to our new members on the Facebook group, Trash Talking with the Old Heads. I forget the names right now, but I let them in earlier this week. So welcome to the group. Till next time,
grill.
We are the Old Heads, and we out of here.
Guard your grill. Guard your grill.